What's up, gamers? Welcome in. How's it going? Overview and Oshik. Welcome in. How's everybody doing? Yeah, we're gonna be working more on Lurden today. I know we've been spending a lot of time on Lurden recently, but I kind of just want to get like a little bit of a initial momentum going, I suppose, with marketing stuff, and then we'll work on other stuff too. Really soon, I think we're gonna start working on Starground. So, because I want to get started on the next content update. It is annoying to work on Starground, but it's fine. Anyways. So yeah, I want to add... okay, well, spoilers. I already added it. But I want to finish adding in full controller support to Lurden. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing a little bit today. I'll show you guys what I already have and stuff. Return my controller. It's getting there. There's still a couple things you can't do yet, so we have to kind of fix those specifically. So you can navigate around here, pick up your people, you know, clean your tank if you want. I can't remember if I did this on stream or not. Sponge cleaning minigame. I don't even know. But yeah, you can do all this on controller. Get all the gunk off. And then you can also feed the fish on controller. Fish are fed. I mean, there's no fish in this tank though. So that's all working. You can navigate through these menus down here. We can sell fish, you know. Go to the shop. Buy a researcher. So some of the things that don't work. I'll say Eiler 10 Studio, welcome in. The research menu right now is not usable on controller. I can't select things and stuff, so that needs to be fixed. But I don't think it'll be too bad. And also, obviously, the Ascension, because it's like the same system. But otherwise, everything else works. You know, I can go fishing. I can like view my cube net in here if I want. See, there's nothing in there. And all the mini games already work because it's literally just one button press, so that's all set up already. But yeah, I think we're pretty much good to go. I think all this stuff is mostly fine. Sometimes the escape menu is a little weird with like the selection. I'm somehow selecting things like behind the menu, I think. I don't know what's really going on there. I think it's because the options menu is like a child of the escape menu or something, so it like causes issues. Because now you can see I can't select. So that's something we need to kind of work out. Then what else? Another thing too is being able to place decorations right now is not possible. Like if I go in here to place down like kelp or something, I just don't have any way to do it. And then the other thing too, that's another problem, is a way to select decorations and fish, because there's kind of no way to do that right now. Right. So we got to figure all that stuff out. I don't think it's going to be that hard. But yeah. But once all those are done, then we can safely say that we have full controller support. I don't know how much of it will get done today. We'll try to get it all done. I don't know. Alright, so what do we want to work on first? Let's get the research and Ascension menus just done super quick, I think. So we're gonna go into the tree node and stuff, all this stuff. And let's go into the research camera. So here's our research camera. Pretty easy. So right now you navigate with these ones. Only issue though is with the controller. It's set up right now where like you can also select like the buttons and stuff using these, which is kind of problematic. We need to figure out a different way to do this. I think I'll kind of do it like how I did it in Starground, actually. Because I added it in controller support for the one in Starground. Also just fixing a couple things here, like our zoom input. Do kind of the same thing we did with the aquarium camera zooming. Right here. Oh my goodness. I'll just drop this in here. So that fixes the zoom. Go. All right. Now for movement, I think I'm going to make it so you have to use the right analog stick. Because otherwise, if you try and navigate with your left button, that's going to be a nightmare. So we're going to go into here. Go select all these move. And we're just going to create some new actions. So like, it's going to call RS. Okay. Let's get all these binded. Oops. Do that one. Right. Up. And left. Alright. So those are all binded. Now what we're going to check on the camera is if we're in controller mode. Otherwise, do that one. By default, our input is vector 2.0. We go to that if controller is not active. Otherwise, we want to do the right stick here. RS. All right. So let's just go test this really quick. It should be fine. I don't want to make sure. Yeah, so now the zooming is good and stuff. So pretty easy. Then the next thing is doing like a little cursor in here or whatever with the camera so we can actually select things. I do already have a node in here called like cursor. I just need to make it follow. I think. Oh, maybe I don't. Goodness. I don't think I do, actually. How did the research for the tree nodes detect collision? Okay. They do it with mouse entered and exited. But I know of a solution to this problem. I figured out a way to emulate mouse movement. And I did it inside of the aquarium cursor. So I think that's what we're gonna do here. It's like, oh, where is it? I'm doing physics, a regular process, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Where did I do it? Oh, it's in camera, I think, isn't it? Yeah, this stuff right here, whereby I push back controller input, that's what we're going to do for the aquarium cursor here. Or not aquarium cursor, the research camera. Alright. So, in process, we do all the movement stuff. And then down here, controller is active, I do that. I set the mouse position. And then we need that function, get cursor screen position. So go back into camera. This is that function. And this essentially just converts like a viewport position into a global position. I think we should, or like a display window position, whatever coordinate. So let's try this out. So what I should be doing now is when we hover over these nodes, it should like light up because we're emulating mouse movement essentially, so we don't have to like redo the code. So it's just a better way to do it, I think. Now we can click on this guy, or not this guy. Research, and then doesn't seem to be working. Not sure why. Let's figure it out. So if controller is active, if input is not 0, I'm doing all this, cam is self, get viewport. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. Which is odd, because it works in here. Oh, it's probably because, we're converting... This is not in a sub-viewport, but this is. So that's why it wouldn't work. So we have to change the formula for being inside of a viewport. And I think I already have a function for this. It's like function global dot. Let's do this. Convert viewport coordinate, and then I just pass in the sub viewport container and the node. So we're going to pass in self. Then our sub viewport container is going to be get parent, get parent, get parent. And that should work, hopefully. Try it again. Still not working. Actually, it might be because that's still converting it. What does this return? I'm going to print out what this is. Okay, so it shows... It seems like it's giving the right position. I don't know why it's not working then. I wonder if it's because emulating a mouse movement or something doesn't like apply through the screen. Would be unfortunate. Theoretically, I don't even need to do all this stuff. I think I could just say mouse motion dot position is equal to get viewport dot get size, or whatever, get transform. No, rect dot size divided by 2.0. So this is going to return the center of the screen, ideally. But it still doesn't work. I'm not sure why. Oh, that's going to be getting, though, the sub viewport. So we have to say, like, we have to get, like, a top level node in here, right? Like global aquarium, get viewport or whatever. That should work. Let's try this again. Oh, so now it does work, which is odd. But it's only working there. Like kind of up in the corner. No, I don't think that's the center of the screen. So that is a little peculiar. Gotta figure that out. Let's go into here. We're gonna give this guy a sprite. And this is gonna be a cursor node. Like that. And I have to make the cursor. I'm gonna save this as a scene. Research, or not research camera. Tree camera. Alexa, fan on. All right. So now we're in here, and we're just gonna add. I just need to see where the center actually is. So cursor.visible is equal to global.controller active. And we'll just get the research menu working, but we'll also do all the same stuff over in the ascension menu as well. So we can see the cursor, but then you can see where the mouse is doing the event, which is just wrong. So I wonder why it's going there. I'm not really sure. Oh. Ah. So I'm actually just a fool because I was doing the wrong viewport that I was pushing the movement like event to, and that's how it was. Now it should work. It's still offset though, it's weird. I don't know why it's there. Not where my cursor is, you know? It's a little weird. Why is it over there? We don't have any offset in the camera or anything. Don't worry about that. I feel like this one should work. It's just getting the viewport and dividing the size by 2. So it's getting the center of our viewport. And then we're pushing that same event. But it doesn't work. It's the same location for some reason. It's doing it there. I don't know what's up with that. Why would it be doing it over there? I don't get it. Unless my issue is that I'm not also taking into account my viewport position. It should be okay. Hey, Zafencer, welcome in. How's it going? Because this has a value in here. If we go to input event mouse, there's a position value, right? Using the coordinate system of this viewport. So it should be fine, because this should be in terms of the coordinate system of that viewport. But I don't know why it doesn't work. My friends and I started in all the mods mod pack for ourselves, and I'm not sure why I never used the crate mods because stuff is insane. Yeah. Now crate's really cool. I love all the crate stuff. Yeah, I want to play Minecraft again at some point. Yeah, crate is pretty awesome. There's some really interesting mods coming out for like add-ons that look really interesting, like Clockwork. And I really want to try this one out because it adds like crazy stuff. I think it's still, no, it's in full release now. But like it adds like cars and stuff, which is wild. There's like flying machines and cars and like it's really cool. I want to try it out. And then Valkyrian Skies is really epic. It's like what it uses for all the physics stuff with the vehicles. Yeah, you can see like this is like using Clockwork to make a plane. So it's pretty awesome. Because you can even do like rudder controls and stuff, which is wild. So yeah, I gotta try this out at some point. It just seems really cool. You could totally just make a flying base with this, like. Yeah. I gotta try it out. I don't know why this is just not the right position, honestly. It's a little confusing to me. It's like, what if I change the viewport size? It's still just consistently in the same wrong location? No. So that's something a little weird. Is when I change the resolution of our viewport or whatever, it's no longer in the center. Like it's just, I don't know where it's doing the mouse event, but it's not over our things, so it's a little odd. It's cool, gonna have to get the whole light sim set up for it though. Yeah. That'd be pretty awesome. Is the issue that I need to take into account the viewport position? I mean, I really don't think that's what this is, but maybe. I can just say get viewport. Oops. Aquarium. Viewport transform. Dot origin. I don't know why I would need to get to that, but maybe... No. Just even more wrong now. I just don't know why it's not always in the center doing this. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just taking the viewport size divided by 2. I mean, that seems like it should be pretty obvious, right? But it just doesn't work. And my cursor is like offset there for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know how that happens. It's really annoying. I didn't have this issue in the other one. Because like when the chef shows up, there's a new thing by the way, if you guys haven't seen. I can use this cursor to interact with these buttons and it like is fine. Right? I can say no thanks and then he leaves. So I don't know, man. It's being a little weird. I just gotta clean and think. Let's wipe off all the grime. Feed the fish. There's no fish, but you know. What's going on here? I don't think it's the position of the camera. Unless world here has like a position offset, but it doesn't. And camera doesn't. Like that gets set manually. So what is going on here? I don't get it. I'm creating a mouse motion event. We set the position to the center of the viewport. And then we push input. I don't know. Let's try something else maybe. What if we did get viewport just on this one node? And then we say push input global position or something. That's probably not going to work, but... Oh. Mouse motion. Positions, global position. Let's see what happens here. So you can see the coordinates in there. Excuse me. But nothing happens when I push it to this viewport. And I think it's because this viewport is not calculating its inputs manually. Because I have this handle input locally variable, right? I still don't see it doing anything. I don't know. Yeah, all these like coordinate conversions and stuff for this is really annoying. I hate doing coordinate conversions. I mean, I can set it to this viewport. Dot size divided by 2. So it should be passing an event to the center of this viewport. But it doesn't work. So, I'm not sure. I think I'm tired of it, and I'm just going to do a different route. We're doing this selection. Excuse me, guys. I don't know what's going on. So let's get rid of all this stuff, because obviously it's not... It works for some things, I guess, but maybe just in the sub viewport like this. Not worth the trouble. So, we have these tree nodes. They already have an area 2D attached to them. And they're on layer 1. So I can just do a collision check and see if... Oh, that's for their stuff, right? I'll just make these guys as static bodies. Then give them a collision shape. Make a circle, it's around like 16. Go up to 24 like that. Then set collision layer to 3. I'll go back into our tree camera. We're going to give this a area 2D with a collision shape to a rectangle, size 1 pixel. Then whenever it collides with one of those, we know that we have found one. Actually, I'm not going to do that because it's probably going to be unreliable. I'm just going to do this inside a physics process. So we're going to say for I and area 2D dot get overlapping bodies. I'm going to say if global dot roller active I just want to see what this does. Hopefully this will start printing out a collision with all of these other research nodes. And apparently this is bad. Okay. I'm gonna rename the research camera into tree camera. Unuse the oh, did I not disconnect it? Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. I think it's crashing because the ascension tree. I'll just say also if you're not visible in tree, get out of here. I don't know if this is a reference to its owner or whatever. I guess I could check owner. I don't know if that's gonna break. Controller. I should be seeing events. Probably didn't set the collision properly. Yep. Game. Also, I need to make it so the cursor kind of scales according to the zoom level. Okay. Let's try again. Man, it's really painful. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so you can see it is colliding with stuff. Tree node, root. So we'll just do it this way because the other way obviously is not working. Let's put this times 2. So now down here, we're just gonna kind of figure out which one is selected and stuff. So do var object, type tree node, and say if I is tree node, and then we're gonna check in here. Oh my god. If we already have object, then I want to reset it. So what is that? I know I can like do, I can call a signal. Hold up. Let's go into the tree node. Figure out what functions I use for this. Man. Oh, there it is. So mouse region, mouse entered. Oh, and I have those in like sub functions or whatever. So we're gonna do in here. Mouse entered function, mouse exited. Fix that. Put this into mouse entered. Okay. So now I can call those signals from here, right? I can say object dot mouse entered. So if we already have one, also let's say if object is not, or if I is not equal to object. So if we already have a pre-existing object, we say exited and then do this one and say object.mouse entered. Then also if we have nothing down here, I also want to say, I'm going to create a new thing now, var found object. Yeah, let's do this. Ugh. Break. So, if found object, elif, we have an object, say mouse exited, object is null. Otherwise, we say if found object is not equal to object, then we say if object mouse exited, and then object is equal to found object and object.mouse entered. Okay, let's try it out. So this should just kind of deal with our hovering logic here. Go to the research tree. There we go. We can see we can hover over these now. Now see, this is the issue with the menu right now, is if I click on these, it just immediately closes out the menu because our focus is on the X over on the top. So that's not going to work. I'm going to make it so that when we go in here, it doesn't do that. So the way I can do that, it should be really easy. I can just go into my research menu, and then these exit buttons, I'm going to add it to a special group I've created called no autofocus. Because what happens here is that essentially like the focus of our UI, I have like a thing set up so if we lose all focus, it picks a new node to capture focus. I can just add it to that group so that it doesn't automatically do it. So that if we go into that menu, you can see, boom. It still did it though. Oh, I think it's because it grabbed. So we'll just do this. Select them both. And then in focus mode, change it to none. Right? Check this out. Oh, what? It's still not working. But I have focus mode on none. It can't be possible. Something's not right here. It should be impossible for this to do that. Because if focus mode is on none, then you can't focus on it. Maybe I just didn't like, I need to restart the game or something, you know? That's probably all it is. Let me just do the same focus mode on the ascension tree, because we're going to need that. Let's try again. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. Let's try again. I promise it'll work this time. What? Okay, I really don't understand this. So it should be impossible for this to happen if I set the focus mode to none, right? Maybe it's because in here I do something weird with the focus mode, or like on the exit button script. I don't know how this is possible. So with focus mode none, you can see the node cannot grab focus. So how is it grabbing focus? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, it might be like in here. Side changed. I'm gonna say beginning focus mode or start focus is equal to right. All right. Oh my god, I can type focus mode. Whatever it is. Okay, focus mode. So that way, instead of just setting it back to all, I set it back to whatever our initial focus mode was. That's probably what's happening here, is my guess. Try it one more time. Better work, or I'm going to freak. There we go. So now we can press to our heart's content. intent, as you can see. So here's another thing, though, about the way the research menu has to work, because we can't just click this and then click again. Like, I mean, theoretically we could, but it's gonna untoggle it, right? But not to worry, there's an easy solution. I can just say on tree node, manually select it. You know, I just say set selected true. So it's freaking easy. Don't even worry about a thing. Let me actually check if I'm clicking on it. Oh, man. Oh, if it's hovered and then I click left. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, say lf dot active, just to make that work with the controller. So we're gonna make it where as soon as we hover over it at all, it just immediately selects it, right? So back into tree camera, when we find the object and all that stuff. So we do say mouse entered, but now we also say object.set selected true. And then if we get rid of it, like with these ones, we say mouse exited and then selected false. Set selected false. So check this. Freaking ready? It says that UI is null. Oh, it's because it's doing it on a node that's the root object. Ooh. So I just have to say if root or whatever. Root node. Well, I can just add a little check in here probably. So if we are the root node, get rid of it. Actually, I can just say if root node is equal to null, I think is the truth. Let's try it out. So that should make it so that it doesn't crash anymore. Here we go, look at that. So now you can see as we hover over these, it just immediately has the button on the right highlighted, right? And we can still click circle to get out of the menu and stuff, so it's feels pretty good. So then let's give ourselves, or all these are already unlocked, so there's like nothing I can do. But let's go to Ascension. Okay. So now let's get the Ascension menu working. But since we got all the code set up, it should be like really easy. Ascension menu. And then something I'm going to do in the Ascension menu is make this Ascend button not something that you can click or whatever. And I'm actually going to give the Ascension icon a button, right? So I'm going to give it or an icon. Like what key do we want to activate it? I'll do Steam Deck X or yeah, let's do X. And there's all these like different versions. I don't know which one is the right one. So now you know what input to hit if you want to press the Ascend button. And like with the other button that we did, we're going to go into here, set focus mode to none, because it'll automatically be on that over there. Then now instead of camera 2D in here, delete that, and we're going to get the tree camera instead. Let's go try it out. And then we just had to set up code. Whenever we press X on the controller, it activates the thing. It's really easy. So research, we're all good in here. We can click on the things. And Ascension. So you can see I can browse in here, right? Can look around at these. And actually, now that we've just disabled all the stuff, we don't need to have the different joystick for navigating, which is actually really nice. So I can change this back to be just regular move. which just feels better to navigate with, I think. Because now I can select things and move at the same time. Yeah. So now all we have to do is just make it where, I mean, we should be good on these. I'm gonna make sure here. I wish there's a way I could reset all my research. I can probably do that. Also, are these outline shaders not working or something? Yeah, outline. What happened? Oh, it's an instance uniform now. No worries. We just have to say sprite dot set instance shader parameter. And now show the selection thing again. Okay, so those are working. Yeah, let's reset our research so I can actually test it. So we're just gonna make a new save really quick. Go into alert in game data, and I'm gonna hide this to show clean or something, or whatever. I just want to make sure that this is actually gonna work before I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. That's something that I need to fix, which is that I can't select that button up there. Right, the OK button here. So I think I also need to do the same thing on that. I'm probably going to change the way the tutorial is a little bit, but you know. About adding a dev console? Yeah, I think I'd like to. I've been really thinking about it recently, and I'm like, man, I need to do that again. Because it is really useful. So I think I probably will do that very soon. Focus, let's set that. If we get time to and we get the controller stuff working, maybe we'll do that today. Then like with the other one, I'm just gonna give the icon, just Steam Deck X. And I do need to make it on these now where it's not gonna show the icon. Unless it's, you know. Now I could put it directly on the button, or maybe I just put it in a H box and put it next to the button, you know? Maybe I'll just do that instead. Just because then I can make the icon of it slightly larger, which would actually be a good thing. Because it is a little small when it's directly on the button. Where is it? Buttons, there it is. Just gonna copy this. Back over to the tutorial. Then we're gonna make this one expand. Expand. Change the icon of this guy to X. There we go. So, last thing, we just check in here. Function. Get out of here. Function process. Input.is. Just pressed. We're just going to call this like controller dismiss or controller action or something. Then we say on animated button pressed. Or we could literally grab our button and just emit the signal. Right, so we could say that dot pressed dot emit, so it kind of emulates that. That'll work. Also, I'm going to say only if we're actually visible, right? Okay, so that's set up. And then last thing too is we have to hide that prompt. Right, so we're gonna say prompt dot visible. We'll do this. Controller active. So it's only going to be visible when the controller is active, and then we say global dot input type change connect to update prompt. So whenever our input changes, it updates whether this should be visible, and we also call that at the beginning. Boom, easy. Okay. So should be good there. We just need to kind of basically backport this now over into everything else. Here, just to test it, I'm going to go ahead and reopen the game. And it might actually not show me the tutorial anymore. Okay, no, we're fine. You can see nice, and then I can click square. Oh, I haven't actually created that input yet. Oh. Does this have a minimum size? I'll get rid of that. I was wondering why it was so enormous. Fill. I just wanted the same size. 36 wide, like that. So I called it controller action, I believe. I don't think we're really going to need a rebindable key menu, because the truth is the game has 2 inputs, basically. Well, it has like 3, but it's got, well, technically 4, but it's all very like obvious stuff. I don't think it's going to be that hard for people to know what to press. Because we've got A to interact, B to cancel or go back, square on controller for like a prompt, and then the pause menu, right? And that's like all the buttons you actually have to know. And then on keyboard and mouse, it's even more straightforward because you just click everything. And there's no keybinds except escape. And WASD, I guess. But it seems like it's basically, I don't even know why I would bother with rebinding. There's only like one thing that we're going to be rebinding, you know? So I think it's okay. But, of course, if people demand it, then I suppose we can add it. I just don't think it's going to matter, though. So let's get rid of game data. Put this one back in now. Oh, shoot, I wanted to test the research, didn't I? Hold up. Get that back out. Try this again. Okay, so let's give myself some money. Let's buy some researchers and whatnot. Whoa. For $0, I need to fix that. If you're not making any money, he offers you like a terrible offer. Okay, so now we go into research. Boom. And see, we already like are selected on the research. So all we have to do is just click, boom, and the research is unlocked. Super easy, works. And then final thing in the Ascension menu is just getting this button to work. So let's see, down in here. Let's type animated button, we're good there. I'm gonna drop another one of those little inputs into here. To X. I don't know why this guy's floating. I guess this just needs to be container, shrink center. Set 36. Go. And now this is the final moment in here. Only a couple minor things. So we're gonna update the prompts. I think I'm a fool. I think I'm a freaking fool right now. I realized I already implemented an automatic way for the prompts to deal with themselves. And now I just like did all this code in here for no reason. So I'm actually a little bit of a fool. That's what I am. So we're gonna not do that anymore. And then go fix it in the Ascension menu. Now, this is a just like kind of standardized things. I had to make sure I know what my type is. So type is types.ascension. And we do it. Also, why is this not checking if we're not visible? I should do that. Then if we are the ascension tree and we press the action, we go bing and emit. So watch this if you're not ready. Ascension, boom, right? Oh wait, I have to restart. hold on. Okay, watch this. If I go to the ascension tree, whoa, look at that button down there. What? X to ascend? X, huh? X, you say? Okay, let's hit that funny button. Opens up the pop-up menu. The focus is already set up properly because a pop-up menu is the class of type menu. So do I want to continue? I click no. Fine, everything's back to normal. Ignore that the button's still large. I don't know why. That's the only issue here, I guess. I don't know why it's big. It might have something to do with my animated button. Because I think when I say pressed, I'm lerping it back to 1.1. Or the movement in the background? What's going on? Oh, yeah, that's an easy fix. Yeah, we can fix that in like 2 seconds. It's fine, guys. Hey, Ezra, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, welcome in, everybody. We're currently working on Lured In right now. Just getting controller support fully implemented, so it's going good. What are we up to today on your stream? How's it going? Doing some asset pack publishing? Nice. That's sick. Yeah, I'd like to do some more asset pack stuff. I've done like... I think I did one a long time ago. I'd like to like actually do more now. You're into the Cheese Man stream, yeah. What's up, Ricky? How's it going? Ooh, let's go. Let's check it out. Nice, this is pretty epic. I'm liking this. Yeah, I got a bunch of different isometric tiles. That's pretty cool. Yeah, asset packs are really fun to create. I've had a good time with it. I did an asset pack, I think, a while ago. It's probably looks terrible because it was so long ago. Oh, it wasn't even on this account. It was on like the private whatever account. Or not the private account, but like my Chip Plays account. Let me see if I can find it. Chip Plays itch food asset pack. Yeah, here we go. I drew like just a bunch of different little food icons because it was just fun to do. So that's just a sample. There's like 50 of them in here. But yeah. But I'd like to do more in the future. It'd be fun. Yeah. But yeah, asset packs though can be tricky. You've got to really like offer up a lot because there's just a lot of asset packs. So I probably should have put even more food in here, but I don't know. But yeah, I did 16 by 16. I just figured that's kind of like a good standard resolution for icons and stuff for most pixel art games. But yeah, maybe one day I'll go back and work on like add more to this pack. I probably should decrease the cost of it also. I don't know why I made it so expensive. Let me do that. I think I can decrease the cost of it, unless like itch has a limit. Oh, I don't have the other. Oh, there it is. Verification code. Uh-oh. I don't know if I have that code easily accessible. There's itch in here, let's see. Yikes. Oh, there it is. Yeah, a long time ago I used to use Google Authenticator, but then I lost everything when I got my new phone. So... Oh, I have to tag it as not using AI. Actually, that's kind of nice that they do that now. No, it's not. Does your text wiggling affect a shader? Yeah, I'll show you what I got going on for that in just a second. I'm just gonna go in here and minimum price will be $1. And maybe $2 if you want. Alright. So we're good there. What are all these notifications and stuff? I sold 2 copies. Oh, I actually have money in here. I didn't know I made money. Alright, cool. But now it's even cheaper. Anyways. But yeah, asset packs, they're fun. I want to make more at some point in the future. I think it'd be fun to do. So yeah, the shader I've got going on in here, it is indeed a shader. It's a really simple shader. I didn't create it. I just found it. Where is that? It's like UI wiggle. What do I call it? Wobble? You can't remember what I called it. I'll just search for .gd shader. Oh, it's just called UI shader. Yeah, I think I've heavily modified it, but basically all it's doing, extremely straightforward, is like it's just applying a noise texture to the UV of the UI, and that's literally it. So this is doing irrational constants for unique squiggles every frame. Yeah, I didn't do this part, but yeah, and then this is in the fragment, so it's just saying it's getting a noise offset. So you can kind of set like an FPS on this, like how frequently it wobbles, and I think I have it set to like every like 2 FPS or something. You just sample the noise, the direction of the noise, and then you're creating a new UV direction times the strength and apply that to your fragment. So pretty easy. It runs really fast because it's a shader. So and yeah, also I set up a instance, like a global instance parameter or whatever, or shader parameter in here. And what that allows me to do, check this out. I can change the intensity of the wiggle on everything, right? So I can go in here and watch. I can increase the wiggle if I want, or set it to 0. So I added that just in case people don't like the wiggle, because I could see how it could be a little like, I don't know, not necessarily like motion sick inducing, but just it could get annoying after a while. So I wanted to add that in as just a way to like not deal with it. But it was really easy to do that. Literally all I did is I multiply this by a shader global in here somewhere, the strength times a wiggle right here. So you can see global uniform float. That's what wiggle is. So I can just change wiggle to whatever I want. But yeah, I think I have default in like 50%. But yeah, I think it works pretty well. Normal font if you want. Yeah, anyways, we've been just getting all the controller stuff set up. It's working so far. You can navigate around and do all the normal stuff with controller. We're just kind of getting like the research menu and stuff all set up, and I think we're good to go now in there. Like if I go into here, I can you can see like the prompts changing when I change my input method and stuff. I can hit ascend and I can choose what I want to do there. Can't remember what we were just working on. Oh yeah, the background camera is still moving, but we can fix that. Oh yeah, my button, when I activate it manually, like it stays large. I just need to fix that. Should be pretty easy. But yeah, it's going good though. Gotta get going, have a good stream. Yeah, thanks so much for coming in. Have a good rest of your day. And appreciate it. Yes, what we need to do is on this pressed animation that we do here, I need to make it so this doesn't go back to 1.1, or like it can go back to 1.1, but I need to do another check after to see if it's actually hovered or not, right? And I don't know how I can do that. I'm not actually 100% sure. Well, I could just have it lerp back to 1. And then set the initial scale to 0.9. So it'll do like this. But then the issue is I have to hover again for it to like go back to the normal scale, which is not ideal. So we have to figure out whether the button is still hovered or not, right? I mean, I think I'll know when it's hovered. I gotta figure out how I know that. Because whenever we press it, right, we go up into here, pressed, set state pressed. So how do I know that it goes back to hover or whatever, right? Or I guess maybe it's just because that starts and this keeps looping forever. So I think I can just say if I know that my rotation tween is active, I know that it's hovered. Maybe. I think I'm just gonna set a new variable in here, var hovered, right? Also start like z index as an integer, state. That's also a type of int. Okay, so we're gonna say on mouse entered, we're gonna do a couple things. So we'll set that to hovered, but then we also say hovered is true. And then on mouse exited, similar thing. We do that, but say hovered is false. So I think that should fix it. Also same with over here on focus. Because now I can check if we're actually hovered. True. And hovered is false. Okay. Then press, we'll just do whatever. But now, when we go to set state and we've pressed, we can check whether we were previously hovered or not, and then do the proper sizing. So, we're gonna say, if we're already hovered, we do the regular mode and set state back to hovered, right? Otherwise, if we weren't hovered, Then we want to set scale to vector 2 1 times 0.9. Set this back to vector 2.1. And then say state is back to normal. So now we can look at this. And I think I need to restart the game because now we have new signals set up. All right, check this out, guys. So if I select a button now, I don't know why it's not doing anything anymore. Doesn't do its animation. Let me make sure I did everything right. Hovered. Mouse entered, set bind hovered. Focus entered, should also do bind hovered. Huh. So if state is hovered, I don't know why that's not working now. What have I done? It's like it's just not detecting those signals anymore for some reason. Oh, it's probably because I'm saying bind hovered and bind normal and stuff. Now that it's not in a signal, it's a function, I shouldn't say bind anymore. That's probably what's happening. Let's try this again. Nice. So you can see if it's already hovered, it does the regular one, but then if I like select it without hovering at first, it'll do like the small press. So now with controller, you can see like this is fine, it's hovered. I can select it, but when it gets unselected like that, you can see, boom, we're good. So I don't have to do any weird button stuff anymore. Then now in Ascension, you can see I press the Ascension button. It doesn't like stay big and weird like it was before. So we're looking good there. Then, yeah, I guess now that that's working, I can actually fix that issue down there, because I think I was doing something weird before, like resetting the button. So let's go back into Aquarium. I was doing something when here where I had to like grab focus. Yeah, I had to say set state back to normal or whatever. Which I really shouldn't have to do. So let's get rid of that. There we go. So now I don't need to call that extra line for no reason because I fixed it. All right. I don't think it should really change anything with like mouse stuff because you can't press a button without first hovering over a button. So it's not going to ever cause any issues. The only thing it really changes is just when you're in like a focus state like this, or you press a button without actually like first hovering or focusing onto the button. So now I can just be like, you know, if I'm in here and I press ascend, it's just normal. So yeah, we're gaming. Let's just make sure that all this stuff works really quick. Then I'll answer what you said, Oshik. So let's ascend. Boom, I ascended just fine. And now I go back to the ascension tree and I can unlock things. So you can see my points in the bottom left. I can get whatever I want in here. So yeah, we're gaming. Let's see. I saw your algae post. I was wondering who is the designer of Lured In. Why can I change anything with the settings? Saying why can't you or can you? Because there's actually a lot you can change to the settings. Get out of here, chef. Oh yeah, I guess I need to reset the chef on Ascension. That's kind of a thing. I've gotten all of the Ascension 100% fairly, totally. Let's go reset the chef on Ascension. So otherwise he's gonna like show up with a really good. Something should be constant, like why can't I turn off the algae? You can. Right here. Or are you saying why can you? Oh yeah. I just think my philosophy with Lured In has been I really don't care about gameplay difficulty very much because it's just a little idle game. And like honestly, this grind mechanic is really not a very big component of the game. So I'm gonna put all these settings like this into like a special options tab and have a warning that suggests people don't change them. But I want to make sure that the game doesn't have annoying stuff that you can't do anything about. Like maybe some people really don't want to have to deal with having to log in every day and clean the tank off because it can be annoying. So I'm just throwing in a button to disable it if you don't want it. And I'm gonna do that with a lot of things, I think. And especially like choosing what mini games and stuff can show up inside of the fishing stuff. And the reason I do that, you can kind of technically exploit the game that way a little bit by just choosing ones that are really easy. But the bigger reason is that to some people, some of these might be really difficult. Like if I'm handicapped, I might have a really hard time like with timed inputs, right? So that's one of the reasons I want to have a way to actually disable stuff like that. So you can like be like, okay, don't display this one or this one, or just disable mini games altogether so that there's no like timing constraint. But that's the reason. I mean, I could see like, obviously having algae accumulate is the intended gameplay and I want people to have to deal with it. But also it might be kind of hard maybe for some people to like control a mouse and wave it around on the tank, you know? There's a lot of things that seem like really easy and fine for most people, but to some people it might actually be a really big problem. Because I could see how this would be really difficult. If you're on like a special kind of controller or something, it's going to be really difficult to move this sponge around to clean things, right? So I don't want to make it a hard requirement to like just, you know, I just want to keep things accessible essentially. But this is the reason why I'm going to put it in a special menu and make people like feel bad when they change them. Because I don't really want people to change these. Like I want people to have algae accumulation on. I want people to have all the mini games on. But you know, if you're having a hard time though, I don't want to ruin the game for those kinds of people. So and honestly a lot of games do the same thing. Like there's I mean, just thinking of a game I've played recently, like Dredge, I'm pretty sure that there's some like accessibility settings that you can change to make the mini games different or something that you have to do. So it just seems like a good idea. Yeah, let's go fix that other thing. I mean, there's a time and place for, like, the thing is, I think Lured In, compared to other kinds of games, has the potential to be uber accessible because it's already very simple, and I've already been, like, really adding in a lot of quality of life options anyways, so throwing in another to turn off stuff like that is not a big deal, I feel like. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand with that. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be kind of a, yeah, secret hidden settings. I'm going to start everybody with the defaults that they should have with all the things enabled. But maybe sometimes you don't want that stuff. And there's a lot of, also like another game as an example, I'm pretty sure, whatever it's called, it's Cast and Chill or something. This game also has a similar thing like that where you can like just enable like automatic fishing if you want. Like you literally don't have to do anything to fish if you don't want to. And I know there's some people that complain about that functionality, But like, there's like a couple of like I saw like one review in here that was complaining about it. But you know, this game is obviously pretty successful, so I think it's fine. But I'm willing to take a one person being mad if it means making the game accessible to many more people. So, and it's a single player game. There's no leaderboard or anything, so who cares if people like quote unquote cheat, you know? It doesn't matter. So, I might potentially disable achievements if you do some of those settings like that, and that would be fine, I think. So we'll see. Let's make it so this main aquarium camera can't do anything when a menu's open. Actually, wait, what? Menu open. It should be returning right here because a menu is open. So I actually don't know how this is moving. Unless it's doing something in the different... No. Don't make no gosh darn sense to me, boy. How does that work? I'm moving the camera in there, unless it's like the same script, but it's not. So I can move in here, go into my Ascension menu. Okay, background doesn't move. Ooh. Then I go into here. How was that happening before? Maybe I have to like time it weird or something. I think that might have been some kind of bug with the game, possibly, or like because I was editing things live while the project was open. Because yeah, that actually should not be possible, really. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Because if the menu is up, it's just, you can't do it. So weird. Also, I set up some code so I can actually get all the fish now. What? He's worth 100,000 coins, huh? Or money. I guess he's just a really valuable fish. Also, I get the boost from the Ascension. I guess my Ascension bonus is like really high right now, isn't it? Yeah, 5 times. That makes sense. I was looking at it like, what? How on earth? Who's good? Does he have the highest income? Yeah, I think so. I can't fit another one in there. What is up with that fish? What do you mean? He's a totally normal fish. I don't know what you're talking about. Looks pretty normal to me, man. Yeah, it's a catfish. A catfish. Literal catfish. It doesn't meow, but that would be pretty epic. If anyone wants to do a bunch of cat noises, hit me up. I did draw a couple more fish too I need to add into the game. Good, do it. Oh yeah, and then really quick on the Ascension. Or Ascend is the function. I just want to say global dot chef deal dot clear. Just set to an empty dictionary. So the chef doesn't reappear after Ascension, because that's not fair. Could do it for eugenics, but maybe for Lord In, yeah, it'd be epic. I'm down. If you want to send me some cat noises, I could add it in. Just like some ambient sounds. It would be nice to just have ambient fish noises anyways, like for special fish that make sound. Not many fish make sounds, but a couple could. What other fish make sounds? I mean, like really? A dolphin? I mean, I know they make sound, but like... popping noises from herring. Interesting. Okay. So some fish make sounds. Yeah, fish are pretty silent. I guess it's not very beneficial to evolve vocal cords if you're underwater. Because otherwise, you might have a hard time hearing each other. Yeah, I mean, I guess that works. We could do like a little bit of a sound for them swimming around. Should be fine. Would be 100% opposed to that. We'll see. The biggest diver. Oh, what? I can't see him from here. Uh-oh. It should be showing him in there. Oh, I had to reload. Okay, that's something that needs to be fixed. When I place down a decoration, it should just immediately show up in here, but it doesn't. Let's go fix that. First off, let's start at the source. Make sure that the signal's being properly emitted. So when I place down a decoration, we can see we got the tank menu. There's this cursor node in here. And if I click left, I say global add tank decoration. Then that says tank decorations changed, and I emit the tank ID. So let's go back into fish tank now. Ready. Oh yeah, I just forgot to connect the signal. Whoopsies. Whoopsie dipsies. My bad. Alright, let's try this out. So now, if I have my thing, and if I place down a decoration, we should see it immediately update. Ready? Boom. Yeah, we're good now. Okay. That's another thing I'd like to do. Hunting. We got the controller stuff all done. I think the final element of getting full controller support, like 100% controller support, is literally just this menu. It's selecting fish, decorations, and upgrades. That's it. So, I see a couple ways of going about this, and we need to figure out which one is going to make the most sense. Just thinking if there's anything else I need to do here. I don't think so. That should be it. Travel menu's all good. Shop is good. Research is good. Ascension is good. Inventory is good. Mostly. This is one little bug that I have to figure out how to fix, but otherwise it does work. Because you can like go up normal like this, but you can see it doesn't like go up to the point where I get to see what I'm actually selecting, which is the only issue. I might need to make it so I can like select the whole box or something. I'm not sure yet. I'm sure there's a fix though. I feel like I'm missing something. Well, I guess I was gonna add in some of the new fish I drew. Might as well. Items table. Alright, so we're gonna add in got the herring, the catfish. I don't know where these guys are gonna be, so I'm just gonna put them at the bottom, but we're gonna do fish, stonefish. Is it one word or what? Let's see. Yeah, stonefish, one word. And what would be my little quip for a stonefish? But wait, for reference, this is what a stonefish is. I don't know what I have to say about a stonefish. Hard as stone. Rock and stone. Gotta throw in a little DRG reference. And then lastly we've got what's the other one I added? Oh yeah, just a regular rainbow trout. Like a normal guy. Rock and stone. What's the difference of rock and stone? I think stone is like more of a descriptor of a material, right? And a rock is like an object, you know? So like I'm holding a rock versus this thing is made out of stone, you know? I think that's the thing. A rock is a very specific, like, I mean, you can use it in both contexts, but that's just what I think. Rock versus stone. Unless there is actually a real meaning. Maybe. So rock is, yeah, like individual rocks that appear. Geologists use rock as a broader term. Yeah. Then what about stone? Stones are not a scientific classification. Okay. But are small, loose fragments. So I might be completely backwards, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, rock big. But see, these are rocks, right? I never call these stones. I call them rocks. So I don't know. They're so similar to each other. I don't know if there's really a meaningful difference. Like there is in specific fields, like in geology, but unless you're a geologist, yeah, right, then I don't think it really means anything. So so what do we want to do for our little thing for a rainbow trout? I don't know. What do I think of when I think of a rainbow trout? I don't know. A rainbow trout. This isn't Loonbone. What do you mean? It's totally...
When a light and in water love each other so much, a rainbow trout is born.
Taste the rainbow. That would be pretty epic if I could say that. But yeah, I don't know if like I'm allowed to use that. I don't think it's a real, like, it is Skittles like saying, but it is also, I guess it means other stuff. Yo. Me when I can't say taste the rainbow. I don't know if I'm allowed to or not. I think it'd be fine. I mean, is Skittles really going to sue an indie game over one specific fish already called a rainbow trout because there's a little tiny description below it that says taste the rainbow? I feel like it'd be easy to deal with that in court, you know? I think it's probably okay. Taste the rainbow. I'll do it without, you know. It's a different punctuation, so it doesn't mean the same thing. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Probably. Maybe I'll regret that, but we'll see. Anyways, so those guys are in now. Let's go see what they look like. Whoa. Triple exclamation point. I can. Taste the rainbow. All right. Look at all these fish. Rainbow trout. Look at them go. We got the stonefish. What's our biggest fish in here, like sprite-wise? I think theoretically it is the eel. It's because he's long. But he's not like physically the biggest fish. Might potentially have to, on some fish, change their sprite or whatever, because like the eel needs to be curled up in his icon. When he's actually in the tank, I can make him long, you know? So we'll see about that. Diver. It doesn't seem to actually update the rotation in here, does it? What if I go back in? Does it? Oh, it does. Interesting. So rotating stuff apparently in the tank menu doesn't actually update it in the preview. And I'm assuming neither does scale. Yeah. So I may have to do that. Although it could potentially get very laggy though if I do update it for every little minor thing. Let's see, what is this? What does it do in here when this happens? I just like update all this stuff. I can just make it so that when you leave the menu, it emits the signal, right? That's probably going to be the safest bet here, just so I don't lag out the game. So I'll just say whenever we close the menu, global dot tank decorations changed, emit tank ID. Because you're not going to be looking at the little tank preview when you're inside of here. Like, I'm going to be rotating, blah, 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 scaling, and then I get out of it, and now it's updated. So I think it's fine to do it that way, instead of, like, instantly, you know? So we'll probably do that instead. So I think I'm going to get rid of the other signals in here. Because I could just see it potentially being a performance issue if you have lots of decorations. So, don't want that to happen. I mean, we could say the same thing about everything, I guess. It's okay, it's okay. I think you gotta call it somewhere. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Anyways. Oh, man. I'm tired, guys. All right, so let's figure out this controller stuff in the tank menu. I think it's about time. We need to figure out how we're going to make it so you can do a couple things in here. So I don't think the decorations is going to be that bad. Basically, as soon as you click on this, we do the same code we already have set up for the sponge and the food thing. And it just activates like a mode where you get to move the cursor around, right? So that's honestly really easy. So let's do that one really quick. Just get it out of the way. And then we'll figure out our selection stuff. So inside of tank menu. Ugh. And we're gonna do wherever it is, like when we say pick up sponge and stuff. Say begin placing decoration. Well, we already have that like somewhere in here. I guess I do that inside of my decoration button. So what do I call in here? Nothing. Oh no, it's right here. Okay, I say tank menu dot place decoration. So this is where the decoration process begins. So I can go get rid of that other one. So we set our active decoration. We change the tab to 0. We emit decorations selected. And then in here, I'm just going to have some things. So if global dot controller active, right? We're going to say global dot, what is it? It's like lose focus. And then I also want to say global UI dot, or it's UI manager, I think. Maybe it's not, maybe it's global. Yeah, autofocus active is false. So we're gonna do those two things, and that's gonna kind of lock us into this little panel in here, because you can see we do that in the other places too, like with pickup sponge, right? And then if we have an active decoration ID, we know that we're in like decoration mode. So it should be really easy now. Also, something I'm going to throw on here really quick too is I need like cancel decoration or something. I know I have a thing in here. Click right. Where do I do that? Oh, it's probably inside of a different thing. Yeah, I think I know where it is. We'll get to it. Where am I, bruh? Okay, I am in here. Where did that other function go? I'm just gonna call that. Yeah, I think it's inside of tank cursor where I say right click, I call reset decoration right here. Which is it sets decoration ID to nothing. It's weird that I don't do this inside of the tank menu, huh? So I don't do anything with active decoration. It's a little odd. Okay. Well, it's fine. I'll just reset active decoration. So then also, oh, I have to set it to empty string. And then when we change out of the menu, like with all this other stuff, we say reset or cancel decoration. And also same thing when we change our tab as well. Okay. So hopefully all this will work. So into cancel decoration, we can say reset all our stuff back to normal. So autofocus active will be back to true. Then let's do that inside of here, I suppose, when I click right. I'm just thinking where like I want to call this stuff. I mean, I guess this is fine. But then I want to say viewport.ui dot cancel decoration. Is the viewport UI. I guess that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so we got cancel decoration in here, so I think everything should be okay. And then for our like input movement stuff is the last step to everything. Inside of camera, or not camera, it isn't cursor actually still. So we say if sponge is active, feeding active, or viewport.ui dot decoration active, right? So let's try it out. And let me add that variable in here. I actually don't think I have it. Yeah. Let's go add it next to sponge active and stuff. Just make it a bool. And I don't even really need active decoration because I don't know what it does. It doesn't do anything. Because I'm just passing that decoration selected, so yeah. But then in here I say decoration active is false. Same with right there. Say it's true. All right, we're almost there, I think. I just want to make sure one more thing, actually. Actually, no, I don't think it'll matter. Because I can't call these. Yeah. All right, let's give it a try. See what happens. Hopefully it doesn't break. So I'm in here. Go to controller mode. I place down decoration, and boom, I am in decoration mode. I can click to place them down, and then circle. Oh. Right, circle is going to do my escape menu or whatever. So I do need to kind of fix that. I need to make it so I can press circle to cancel. How do we want to? I have to kind of override my X button code. Okay. Kind of would like a way to somehow like take that focus away or something, right? Some kind of standard function for doing that. I'm not 100% sure how I would though, so I don't know. Yeah, because doing this in here will call reset decoration stuff, but and show decoration. You know what I might do? I think I might change this a little bit. Or I'm just gonna say if right, new ID dot is empty. I'm gonna reset, otherwise do all this stuff. So I don't need two different functions for this. And then all I have to do when I cancel is just like easier. Don't call this anymore. Just call this one function. So now it has to run through here. Just have a standard place for this. And then all I'm going to say is decoration selected.emit and pass in an empty string. Or even just do this so it's consistent. All right. Okay, so I could do some custom like logic stuff, but that doesn't seem ideal. I could potentially have another variable inside of the X button that kind of like lets me control whether that check right here is active, right? Could temporarily like disable the button or something. I can just say controller exit active, make that a bool, is false. Or no, make it true actually. And then I'll say if not controller exit active, return. But now I can just kind of manually control that variable, and this is probably gonna be the best way to do it. So when I say place decoration, I'll just do this in here. I can now reference both these exit buttons and say controller exit active is false. And theoretically, I might be able to just do that with like a global function. I might do that just to make none of them work. Probably would be fine, but we'll see. And then I go over to reset. Oh. On this one, I'm just gonna now say cancel decoration. Sure, I'm not calling reset decoration. Okay. Ooh. And then for cancel decoration, I want to set those back to true. So now check this, guys. You're not ready for this. Hopefully this works. So I'm in the game. I'm in a funny little tank menu. I'm having a grand old time. I place down my seagrass. Boom, boom. And if I press circle, yeah, it just like cancels the placement of the decoration instead of closing the entire menu. So I think we're almost on like good to go. Literally the only other thing is selecting fish. And I don't think that's going to be like terrible. So hopefully we can get that worked out. Now we can build an army. I can feed them, and that one like automatically goes away after a second. Kelp. See, because I can place these down, but now I have like no way of actually like modifying them, right? So I definitely need another button, I think, to be able to like change these things. What? I just saved a screenshot, guys. My bad. So let's think now what we want to do for that. So basically we just need to be able to activate the cursor mode again. That's practically what we have set up here, right? We're either in select button mode or we're in like cursor mode where I can go in here and select stuff in the tank. So unless we wanted to make it where both can work at the same time, so you use a different analog stick. But honestly, I think it's really annoying though to use like the other button, the other analog stick for that. I like how this I can move and then like press X as I'm moving, but it's really hard to do that with the right analog stick, so I kind of don't really want to do that. Also just becomes a nightmare of like what button actually gets activated with the focus currently selected. So I think what we could potentially do is just have a little like finger button in here so that when you press it on controller, it like activates like the selection mode in here. You know what I mean? Something like that might work. The only thing though is some of these have like multiple buttons and stuff over here, right? Because like what happens when we select this? Like, are we gonna immediately... I guess what I can do over here is make it so the back button goes back to the buttons. Yeah, I think that's how it would work. You could just make it so when you select something and press circle, then this stays up, so you can just navigate in button mode back over to it. Because you can see I can get over here from regular button mode. So that is one way to go about it, I think. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. I think I need to create like a unified cursor mode in here, honestly. So I've got like a billion different... I'm doing the same thing over and over with the sponge, feeding, and now decorations. I think I just need to be like activate cursor mode, right? And it's fine to have the other things still, like decoration active, but now I need like var cursor mode. And this only matters on controller, but... And I'll say a set cursor mode. Let's say bool. And then now I say if cursor mode is true, we're gonna do like the button stuff that we were doing with exit buttons, right? Do all that stuff. I'll set it back to true. And then we're also going to say global.lose focus and UI global.autofocus active is false. And then over here we say back to true. So now we don't have to call all that stuff over and over, right? Global lose focus. We can get rid of that now and just call in here when we place decoration, set cursor mode true. And it shouldn't really affect anything on keyboard and mouse, I hope. And then here, we don't want to call that. We say set cursor mode false or whatever. And same with all this stuff. So like when we do pick up sponge, right? We call it there. And when we say pick up food, we call it there. And then likewise, when we reset both of those things, we say set it back to false. And also cursor target. I think that's another important thing actually in cursor mode. So we can just say cursor target back to null. Otherwise, we set the cursor target to our viewport dot cursor. Because I've done these like targets in here. Right here, set cursor target. Oh, which actually that's like a coordinate. So let's not worry about that, but we will say now in here we just say instead of all that, just if cursor mode. And controller active. So hopefully this will work better now. Let me just make sure I got rid of like all the autofocus stuff. We don't need to call it there or in there. Just those two places, okay. And same with the lose focus. Okay, just that one place. So let's see how this works now. So on regular mouse, nothing, it's all fine. I can place decorations, cancel and click on things, right? But then now, if I'm on controller, let's go into one I haven't like done stuff on yet. So I can click on this, so now I'm in cursor mode right now. Then if I hit circle, I exit cursor mode. Like decorations now, it works. Pop down, circle to exit cursor mode. So I have like, I think I'm doing that canceling in here, which I don't really need to do that. I'm just gonna call this now inside the parent because it makes more sense. So back up to here when I call exit cursor mode. Or I'm going to do this instead of process. Did I test all the mini games in controller? Yeah, they all work. I can run through those in just a second here. I'm just going to say set cursor mode false. All right, so that should work. And when I do this, I guess I also need to make sure that I'm like canceling everything. It's like, where do I say reset sponge and stuff? Do I do that on right click? I do. See, so I can also move these same functions now over into the other one I did. Right here. So we'll say set cursor mode to false and also reset sponge feeding. Oh, that runs that also. So yeah, we just call this inside of here. Reset sponge, reset feeding, and cancel decoration. So that everything gets reset. So now I don't want to call those anywhere else. That one's okay. Let's do like reset sponge. Like, where do those get called? Right here. So get rid of all that and just say set cursor mode to false. Oh, and these actually call set cursor mode inside of them. We don't need to do that anymore because those get called whenever we call the other one. But if we call the initial one, like pickup, those are fine. Also, like add or cancel decoration now. Get rid of it. So let's just make sure everything is good. Pickup sponge, we need to set to true. If we ever click right, and we say if cursor mode, we reset the cursor mode. And that's our function there. Place decoration sets it to true. And yeah, I think that's it. So let's restart and we're going to try this out and just make sure everything feels good in here. There's no issues. Hopefully it all works. Let's just check keyboard and mouse first. I'm in here. I can select whatever I want. I can do the food if I want. Boom, I fed the fish. I don't have any dirty tanks. I can't like check the sponge. But let's check decorations. I'm in that mode. A little quirky when I click on things in decoration mode. Right? But I might make it so if I click anywhere outside of here, I like activate or I disable the cursor mode or something, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah, that all seems good. So let's go to controller mode now and select on guys. So I'm in here. Let's place down decoration. Boom, I'm in cursor mode. I can place down. If I hit circle at any moment, I can exit cursor mode. Place down decorations. I can exit cursor mode while I'm feeding. I can bop. I fed the fish now. Add a cursor mode. Then also changing tabs. That's another thing that I need to do. Is I say reset and all this stuff. Now I just say set cursor mode back to false. And there we go. So yeah, I think we're good now. I can't select fish when I'm placing my decorations, which is good. Eat them. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not accidentally like breaking the game, but I think we're all good. See, I'll show you all the mini games now. They do all work on controller. And the reason for that is because it's just all one input, so it's really like easy. But yeah, well, I'm sure in the future we're gonna have other mini games that are a little bit more difficult to get working on controller. You can see controller active. Got a goldfish. And then the other one also works just fine because it's just checking one input. So we should be okay. And there's no like UI selection stuff in any of the minigames, so it's really easy. It's just, is input active or not there, right? So it's a single button that happens. It's the other one again. But you can also see when I'm in minigame mode, I can't exit out of the minigame. You can see like the bottom bar down there, it gets grayed out. It's like disabled, so I can't activate it while I'm in a minigame. So everything does work pretty well in here. I can hit circle there to get out of like the toolbar mode. I wonder if I can do that on, it doesn't matter because I can just move. Oh my goodness, bro. Trying to get the other one. Let's give it one more shot, one more shot. Oh, oh, this is a problem. The menu opened, but I did not receive focus on PeepNet. So, why is that? Because this is a menu, right? Yeah. I'm calling super there. It's a little odd. So I should be grabbing focus. Because in menu, when I say toggle on now, I do this little check, which is I find the next valid focus inside of this menu. So the only thing I could think of is that one of these on the mouse mode didn't get set properly to something in here. Filter is stop. Focus is all. That's a little strange. Maybe what happened was I already had a focus, so maybe... But calling grab focus should be fine, because it'll just steal the focus. So that's actually kind of odd. And you can see if I go back into controller mode, it still doesn't want to focus on this object, so... Something's odd here. Let's print out, I want to know... I don't know if I can drop process like this. Probably not. But let's go into somewhere where we have process going. Like global. I want to print out what our focus mode is, or whether our autofocus is active. Yeah, so that is active. I don't know why then I don't receive focus on that return button. Unless it thinks I'm focused somewhere else. But I don't think that's the case. I'm going to say get... Or it's, what? Get viewport. Get GUI focus owner. Maybe it's just get focus owner. Oh. There it is. And I want to see if we have a focus owner right now. We do not. And see, it's still null. And I'm not sure why it's not grabbing that focus. Oh, it's because I'm a fool. That's why. So if I go into fishing region, I realize if we look in here, I need to set this canvas layer into a group having mouse. No, not mouse emulation. Here, let's go grab it from aquarium. Because otherwise the global check for refocusing is not going to know. So you can see canvas focus. Kind of want to add that as a global group. Hold on, I have to convert to global group. There we go. Almost set that to a canvas focus. Yeah, I do that so I can choose which canvases I actually want focus stuff to happen on. Otherwise, things can be bad. So back into our fishing region, we just grab this, set to canvas focus. And then now in here, when I go back to controller, oh, I think I have to like restart. Otherwise, it's not going to actually work. Let's try this. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't take the focus though on the menu. Like, it must have just thought that like I don't know why I would do that. Keep net menu. Let's look at the code on how it does it, maybe. I mean, I'm pretty sure I just say, like, make active. Escape menu. Yeah, so keep net full. And I say toggle on. Should be fine. Then toggle on in here is going to call changed true. It's not fading. Should be okay. I say set the active menu. Let's try this again. Just restarting the game maybe. Could have just been the autofocus thing, maybe, but I don't know. That seems a little odd to me, though. Anyways, let's go travel. Actually, here, just to make this happen faster, I can travel to, like, the river, because the fish are larger here. Okay. Also, really quick, one thing I do actually need to do here is, I think I say focus allowed. I just want to say on ready, set focus allowed to false. Because I don't want the game to immediately focus in on these nodes. So you can see, travel. I'm good, it's not automatically focused. I can just immediately start fishing. Okay. Come on, give me a fish. There we go. One more fish. Almost, come on. I go get like better bait upgrades, I suppose. We're good. Oh yeah, see if this minigame works. Okay, we got all our fish, let's see. Yes, so now it has focus on the return button. So all I can do is just click and return. So we're good. All right, that's been fixed. We can place down decorations and stuff in here. That's working. Yeah, a couple other little tiny minor things. The option menu is a little bit broken when I like hit the X button and stuff. It doesn't refocus on the escape menu. And it's just kind of inherently the way that those menus are configured. And I think I might potentially change it so that the option menu and escape menu are kind of two separate menus, if that makes sense. So I can have like my options menu attached to a separate variable from escape menu open. So that's probably what I'll do. 10 FPS. Let's go. Oh, my zooming does not seem to be affected by delta time. Let's fix that. That's going to be the same thing with this one too. I think it's because... Let's figure it out. Oh yeah, I add it plus that, so I'm going to say times delta. The other one doesn't matter, or like regular mouse scrolling, because it's kind of like set up where it's whenever you just initially press. But with this one, and I don't know why that's like not doing it right. Oh, I wasn't technically in controller mode. So that's at that speed now. I just want to see if it stays consistent at a higher FPS. We'll obviously make it run faster, but yeah, it is consistent, but it's way too slow. So now we can modify the speed and stuff. We'll do like 10. That feels pretty good. Because you can just like do a little bit if you want, because it uses like the trigger buttons are like an analog input, right? It's not just on or off. Like if you do just a little bit, you can see you can zoom in slow if you want, then fast at full speed. This should work. So that's good there, and then that means it also should be good on the Ascension menu. Yeah. Then the final thing is our aquarium camera. Be the same code. It's delta. It's delta. Now let's see what it feels like. Pretty good, I think. It's about the same rate as like using the scroll wheel. A little slower, but I think you want it to be slightly slower on controller. Eat enough fish. Controller support has been a lot of work, but it's something I definitely wanted to get done. Because we're going to be aiming for Steam Deck verification, because I think it's going to really help with this game's success. It just seems kind of like a perfect game to play on deck, right? So I'm really going to try and get everything smooth for that. It might be difficult because sometimes Valve is particular about their Steam Deck support stuff. And by particular, I mean like very kind of annoying things where it's just like, this button is too small. I mean, it's good stuff, but you do have to be very, very careful. So, runs well on your deck. Let's go. Nice, yeah. Should run even better now with full controller support. Another thing too with deck, which might actually be nice, is you can just like, you just tap the screen to emulate the mouse, right? Like it's a touch screen. So it might actually work pretty well on deck right off the bat. I don't know, we'll have to see. But to get like actual Steam Deck verification, you need controller support, so I kind of have to do it even if it technically already works. But yeah, it's fine. Alright, let's go stop printing out our focus object. Oh, and I need to get the modding stuff set up. I will do modding support soon, but I just want to get some of these like scary systems done first, like controller support that I've been meaning to do for a while, just so that I'm not like having to intertwine them together too difficult. Yeah, we'll do that very soon. Okay, so let's do the selection stuff. And that's it. So the way I'm thinking of doing it right now is essentially inside of the tank menu. We just have a little thing. Let's see, tank menu. Also, one thing really quick I actually want to do is check if we're on Steam Deck. And then if so, I can actually make it so that you can't change the input type. So I may do that. Just because I don't want people to accidentally enable keyboard mode on Steam Deck, because that would be bad. You can still do like regular mouse input, I believe, even with controller mode on, but it means that like the analog sticks and stuff will work like normal. So I think we just need to go into wherever it is. Unhandled input. I know there is an easy way to detect whether we're on Steam Deck. I've done that with Starground. But I think I have to use the Steam API function, so search for it in here. Yeah, global.steamdeck. And then see, I can call steam.isRunning on Steam Deck. So I'll do that later once I actually have the Steam stuff. We're beginning to integrate that. I do want to get started on that stuff soon, like achievements and things like that. I really just want to get those things ready, you know? Because like once we do demo stuff and everything, if we have right off the bat Steam Deck support and achievements, I think that's going to be pretty epic. So hopefully we can do that. Yeah. Let's see now. Oh yeah, one thing I also want to add for controller is vibration. I think that'd be fun. I don't know how to do it, but I bet it's like display server or input or something. It's probably like input set vibration, vibrate handheld device. I don't know if this is okay. It's only for like mobile. I have considered mobile. But you can do start joy vibration, and then you can set the device 0, weak magnitude. I guess there's like 2 versions. There's a weak motor and a strong motor. That's interesting. I don't know what these magnitudes should be. Okay, between 0 and 1 on both of them. But we could do some cool stuff in here, I think. And just do a tiny little pulse, like whenever, for example, when you're in the mini game catching fish. Kind of just want to do this really quick. So if we go back into fishing region. So whenever we get like a bite, I think it could be kind of fun. So required nibbles right here. We say wait text. We can just say start joy vibration. And this is going to be a really strong vibration because it's like 1 on both, so probably too extreme. But I want to see what this feels like. I think it'll be fun to have vibration. And then obviously we'll need to do a slider to disable vibration. Pretty sure my Xbox controller has vibration. Oh yeah. That's pretty cool. I do like that. It's pretty fun. So let's change this. Maybe we don't do any strong motor or something. I don't really know like what I should do for this. Let's like try this. I don't know how this feels. So hey, Steven, welcome in. How's it going? We are currently working on the controller support for Lured In. I'm just messing with controller vibration right now. I think this is too long. And this one should be just a really tiny little pulse, like just a little, you know. I don't know if there's a easy function for me to modify old controller vibration, because that would be really nice if I could just do that. But I might have to implement my own variable for it, which is not really that hard. But oh yeah, it just does a tiny little pulse now whenever you get a bite. And then when you get like the full bite, it does like a stronger one. At least inside my bar. So that's pretty cool actually. Oh, will support my Guitar Hero controller? Theoretically. It supports any kind of controller, I guess. I don't even know. But let me know. Nice. But yeah, it works. So it would be fun if throwing these guys around made the controller vibrate. Just for fun. There's so many little controller vibration things you can do like that, so. Wonder how I would handle it though, because there's like, I might have to say stop. Joy vibration or whatever. Oh. But yeah, anyways, is there a variable to set down and set joy vibration? Vibrate handheld, should ignore device. Okay. Joy vibration. Magnetometer. You can also do joy light now in the new Godot version. You can like, if like, for example, it's a PS5 controller or something, you can modify the color on the controller, which is another really cool thing. There's actually a lot of controller stuff now you can do. Accelerometer. Oh, okay. Just for debugging, and then magnetometer. Oh, so you get to see the magnetic field. Very neat. Cool stuff. Oh man. Tired. Oh. But we must keep going. I may possibly end stream just a smidge early today. Because I have a birthday party to attend to, not mine. But yeah. We'll see what's going on here. It's actually kind of fun to play the game on controller now with the vibration and stuff. So this is a bug that happens. I don't know what's causing this, but sometimes when I pick up an NPC, it doesn't like properly get rid of their ongoing tween, which is really weird. So I gotta figure that out. This is for the PS5 tactile feedback thing. Oh man, I don't know, but that would be really awesome. I do love that on the PS5 controllers. I was like kind of messing around with that playing Ghost of Tsushima a while ago with my PS5 controller. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know you can do regular vibration stuff. I just don't know if there's the haptic stuff, you know? I'm sure that they will be doing that eventually. Because a lot of people have PS5 controllers just because it's a good controller. But yeah, I'd love to be able to set like the adaptive trigger resistance and stuff. It'd be cool. Yeah, right. Like just different, like the feel of a gunshot and stuff. It would be pretty epic. After 9,000, what is this one? Oh, switch to SDL as the main gamepad input driver. Okay. Yeah, I might have to get some kind of like oh, this driver. Oh. What is this? DualSense X. Oh, this is just DSX. Oh. Well, that's not really what I want. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to do it. You might have to have like the actual like Sony API for the PS5 or something to access functions like that. So I don't know if it's something you even can do on Godot, unfortunately. But I hope one day though. I know there's like this video, but I don't know how this works. This is always a really cool demo. I gotta like try this out. Love how it looks and stuff. Did they do all the assets for this, or did they just find them? It must be pre-made assets. Okay, but how does he do it? So yeah, DualShock. I'm just curious, like, okay, implementing haptics with sound. That's interesting. Does he actually mean like the real haptic stuff, or does he literally just mean sounds through the controller? Because that's not the same thing. That's weird. Maybe there's like a weird setup you can do with an audio bus and a like map sounds into haptic, but that doesn't really seem like what I like the right thing. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea if there's a way to do it, but it doesn't matter right now. Regular vibration is still neat, so we'll start with that first. But hopefully one day I can do that. It would be really fun. Yeah. Anyways. Let's get this freaking last thing implemented. So I think what I'm going to do is just have another little button over here that activates like cursor mode, right? And this is going to be like a little finger pointing or something, right? I'm gonna go find a good finger cursor. Kind of want one pointing to the top left. I don't want the cursor to be enormous or anything, but let's see what we can do. Stonefish. Let's do 16 by 16. Let's draw a hand. I love drawing hands, guys. I don't want it to look like something else, so I might get like a, we might do more of like a, instead of like a hand like this. Maybe something more like this. Wow, this big image. Oh, shrink it down. And I just want the finger pointing to the top left. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I guess it's like right there. That'll probably work. We'll try this out. That's where the finger will go. I mean, once we shade it in and stuff, it'll look okay, I think. Don't worry about the appearance right now. It'll be okay. Just do a white hand. The classic white glove. I'm now looking at this shape of this hand and realizing it's not very hand shaped. Nah, it'll be okay. We'll make it work. Okay. Sure. Oops. Deleted everything. And like this is like the joint of your thumb or whatever here, so like I don't know if I can make this look right. How would it look if I was going like that? I just kind of see like the top, I guess, and then it goes into darkness. That'll be fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Could like give it kind of like a wrist. A little bit, if I'm specific about it. Maybe. Pretty terrible so far, but keep working at it. I don't know, this would probably be okay. Like, it's just a little cursor, right? I could change this to be more of a fleshy tone, so it looks more like a hand, maybe. But maybe the contrast is good, I don't know. I could take a real hand photo, I guess. One out of 45. That's one option. And the other option is more of like a... Doesn't look good though that way. Okay. I don't know. I mean, the hand I drew is basically the same. But I could just use my hand color or whatever. I mean, it's the same thing. So, that's fine. Hand is tan. So... Still kind of looks like a glove, though, for some reason. I don't know. Still has glove vibes. I think this is too thick. We'll just make it a glove. It's fine. It's fine. It's the classic hand. Just call it icon cursor. Oops. Yeah. Fingernail, but then it just gets too distracting. I think we'll just start with this. Because this is the most, like, good for contrast, because it's just white and black, so maybe it would actually be better in the long term. We'll see. So now with that there, we can go ahead and do a function in here. And this one, we basically literally just say set cursor mode true. And we don't like do anything else. As the hand in Mario? Yeah, it's definitely a Mario vibe. So let's see what happens here. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I only want this button to be visible on controller, because there's no need to have a cursor button on mouse, right? So we'll make that happen. Okay, so I activated cursor button. Issue is I can't see where the cursor is. So I have no idea if it's actually moving. So let's, on my tank cursor, I guess when I say set cursor active, or down in here, set cursor mode, and then this one I want to say that, or I can't say that, we have to say, whatever. Viewport dot cursor dot texture sprite. Texture is equal to preload. I can't type. Help. Okay. See what happens. What's gonna happen? And it died. Okay. Gonna change this into sprite. Type sprite 2D sprite. Change sprite 2D into a sprite. Resave it, reload it, and let's try it out. Whoa. So the hand does appear, but I can't move it. And it's just because this is checking for a very specific situation in which it can be movable. Right? So I check in here if decoration active or any of those things. I can just say if viewport UI.cursor active. Oh, I think it's cursor mode or something. Whoa! So now I can go around and select things. And the cursor has become invisible. I'm not sure why or how. Select this and then it just goes invisible. Not 100% sure what's up about that, but figure it out. And do I set like a Z index on this? I think I'm actually going to change this so that this is decoration, and then we have another sprite that's above everything. And this will be our actual sprite. Set it like really high. All right, let's try this again. Oh. Restart the game. Okay. All right, watch this. Boom. Cursor mode. I can't select anything? I don't know why. Why can I not select anything? I can select when regular mouse is active. It was working. Now I can select stuff. Oh, maybe it's because it's checking for if like mouse is inside or whatever. I have to check that. Yeah, because I say if decoration or that. But I have to say and global dot controller active. Controller not active. Yeah, so if decoration ID, isn't it going to do that for the sponge also? Seems a little odd. Yeah, because then if I have like the fish food, it's probably still going to be activating. So let me fix that. Yo, what's up, Zach? How's it going? Am I winning? I would say so. I'd say so, yeah. Pretty much gotten controller stuff ready to go. I just gotta do a couple little tweaks. So I need to save sponge active, but I don't want everything to do it. .ui dot feeding active or viewport or decoration ID, and then we call this one or that, then we return. Let me make sure that these are the right variables. Looks fine. So now hopefully that'll do it. So now with this selected, we're fine. I can unselect, select my fishies, and then if I cancel out of it, it's still doing the selection stuff, which is like weird, or it's like doing the hovering. And I guess it's just because oh yeah, and I also need to make sure if cursor active, right? So viewport.ui.cursor active or cursor mode. So it won't just randomly select stuff. What the heck? It's because I didn't reset it back to false. That could be what happened actually. No, I think that should happen though. Let's try it again. See, it still shows the cursor for some reason. Oh, is it because I did the wrong? Don't even say a word. We'll just say visible is false. Or honestly, I'll just do this to make it easier. Way down. I might have to have another variable that's like select mode, which is fine. Rename this one to cursor and say cursor dot active visible equal to subviewport UI, not subviewport. I'm not a fool. UI and then change this one to sponge active select active, right? That'll be our new variable. Select active and global.controller active. All right, so back into here, sponge active. That stuff. Yeah, anyways, sorry, I didn't say anything. But yeah, I've been just working on getting controller stuff going. We're just adding in like basically a selection tool so you can like select on fish and decorations and stuff. But yeah, it's going pretty good. We're almost there. Got selection. Try let's do this. I realize I could have just done this, set the cursor image, but it's fine. So select active true. And then whenever we set it back to false, I'm just going to say select active is false. So now all I want to do in here, I can get rid of all this stuff. It's just too complicated. So if that or decoration ID, and I guess or sponge active and stuff, yeah. We can just check all those by actually just saying viewport.ui dot cursor mode. So if we're in cursor mode, and we can also say and not select active. And this has to be viewport.ui.selectActive. Yeah, so let's try this. So what that should do is if we are in select mode, it'll still run the processing of selection. So let's try it out. So it's still doing it for some reason. You can see it just did that. What is happening now? Just like immediately does it. See, it shouldn't. Let's figure it out. Oh, it still does the hover calculation. So what is all this stuff? So I should just disable the hovering. What is this, Instagram? Okay. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Oh, I already do that stuff. Man, I think I'm a fool. Okay. Okay, I need to like change all this. So if we're in full screen, bad. Yeah, if sponge is active, bad. If feeding active, bad. So that's all fine. And then if we're in regular mode. I'll just work with the late game shotgun fishing minigame. We'll figure it out, yeah. Okay, so that's all good. I just don't want it to hover if we're not in any of those and we're on controller, right? So now I think the last thing is or controller active and viewport.ui.cursor mode. So I think that'll work. Let's give this a try. And then I need to take this logic out of here because I don't want that to happen there. Keep new object, decoration ID. Otherwise, if we're in any of those other modes, we don't want that stuff to run. And then we disable like all the selection stuff down here. Okay, final test. Let's make sure it works. Oh, it's inverse. Hold up. Somehow it got inverse. How did this happen? Oh, yeah, I have to say if not mouse inside. Okay. So we can select like normal, everything is great and happy, right? But then when our mouse is outside of our box, you can see I can't select anything, which is good. I don't want to be able to select stuff in there. So now if I'm on cursor mode, really shouldn't do anything on controller. So everything seems fine in here now. I can activate this. I can place down decoration mode. Right, controller time. So I'm on controller. I enable the cursor. The cursor, for some reason, is still invisible to me. I don't know why, but it is working. You can see it stays on the thing that was last hovered, though, right there, if I get out of it, which is bad. So I think what I need to do is make it so... like, it resets the hover stuff, which is what it does right here, right? Oh, that's if it's selected. If it's not selected, then I set the outline. Last hover is null. So that shouldn't be happening. Why is it invisible, though? Oh, I didn't set a texture. That would probably help a little bit. All right, back to controller. Boom. I probably have to restart the game now. We're getting there. One of these days. Okay. Boom. Why is it invisible? And it just doesn't work. Is it because mouse is not inside? Yeah, that's something we need to fix. I don't care if the mouse is inside or not if I'm on controller. So let's fix that really quick. So down here, where I check this, I say controller active and that. Almost there, guys, I promise. But I don't know why the cursor is still invisible. That's one of our final obstacles we have to figure out. Is it just because I'm not setting the visibility properly? I mean, I have right here, visible is set to controllers active and select active. Like, it should be fine. I'm gonna print these just to make sure. Ugh. But it should say true. I wish Godot used the placeholder texture by default. There is actually a resource called placeholder texture in Godot, interestingly enough. But yeah, I don't know if there's any like function and stuff to make that a default behavior. I have no idea. But I do kind of rely a lot on the fact that a null texture is invisible. So with like StarCrown and every game I work on, but it would be cool though to have some kind of option to change that like default behavior. So select active. Select. Oh. What? Stop changing the script, bro. Oh, I'm not calling pickup selection, am I? Am I? Oh. That's why I can't see the cursor. Okay, let's try this again. Ready? Check it. Boom. Cursor. I can select everything I want. And then I want to make it where if I select something and then hit circle while it's selected on... Oh, but then I would have no way of actually getting rid of my tool. Actually, I think this is fine. If you just click it again, it unselects it. So now what you can do on controllers, like let's say I want to modify this kelp over here. I click on it, I get out of that mode, and now I can just go over here and modify it to my heart's content, right? I can flip it if I want, I can delete it. So yeah, I think this will work. I mean, it is definitely easier to do this stuff with the keyboard and mouse just because the mouse is much more versatile, but it does work. And that's the main thing. So, hey, Brownhounds, welcome in. How's it going? I can like move guys into tanks and stuff. Now he's chilling in here. I can select him. So I think this will work. Because I need to keep this object selected after. Maybe set right trigger or something. Go to that menu. Just like, so if I select something and I hit a trigger, it goes over to the menu to the right. Yeah. I could see doing something like that maybe. Oh. Yeah, we'll work out all the minute details later. I'm just working on like base functionality and then we can keep making it better. I need to get like user feedback to actually figure out what's gonna like feel the best. So I kind of want to push these changes and hopefully get some people messing with the controller, and then we'll discuss stuff like that. So but let's make that button invisible unless we're on controller. So I think I have prompt and that one button in here, cursor button. Give it the... Oh, but it already has like a script. So I'm just gonna have to make a new one, it's fine. Just copy the controller prompt code. There we go. Alex Epic, thank you very much. I can change sort order of the object. Bring the plant to the front. That would be pretty neat. Yeah, being able to like manually decide the sorting order. Right now the sorting order is basically just determined by like the object's depth on the sand. Right, so things in the back of the tank are going to be behind other things, which I think works for the most part. But I think like a little like button on the right to just kind of go up and down with depth ordering though would be kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that for sure, yeah. Otherwise, I think this works. And then you can see if I go to keyboard mode, that little button goes away. Because I don't need that button to be visible if you're on mouse, because it's just confusing. people might think it's like some tool and then click on it and it's like, why is it not doing anything? It's broken. But they just don't realize that it's specifically a controller thing or whatever. Oh yeah, I get rid of that now. Base functionality is base building? Kind of. I mean, if you think of your aquarium as a base, you do build tanks and stuff, so... yeah. Yeah, let me write down a few things. Potentially, we could do manual depth ordering, or like depth nudging on decorations, and maybe move tool for tank decorations. So I think we've done all this stuff. We fixed the Ascension research menus, we placed down decorations, and now there's a tool so you can select objects. So yeah, guys, I think I can officially say that Lured In has full controller support. I still think playing the game on keyboard and mouse is better, but it works on controller. I mean, honestly, the thing is I think that way about most games. So, I'm biased. The console gamers, maybe this is completely fine, and they're like, yeah, this is cool. So, I don't know. You can flip them. Make them big. But it gets the job done. That's the main thing. Alright. This all works. You can feed them. I did need to add like a little particle to that. Oh, whoa, whoa. We gotta fix that. So there's a little timer on when the food goes away. Just so that like you don't get locked in on it. I might actually just get rid of this now so you do actually have to click the cancel button. Because now that there's a way to cancel the food, you used to not be able to do that. I don't see a reason to have that anymore. So we can like, here's my guy, take some food, and then I just hit circle to cancel. My eel in here. Return him if I want, but I shall not. Eventually, also, another thing that's going to really help controller people is I want to add in a, like an additional menu for viewing your fish, kind of like a, how would I describe it? Like an overview panel, right? And I think that's going to really help because it means that, like, you can just see a big list of all the fish and just click on buttons to move them and do stuff instead of having to actually go in here with your cursor and click on them and do all this stuff, right? So I think it'll be fine. But yeah. Because this is just to show off the fish. Doesn't mean that this is necessarily going to be the best way to do it. So, yeah, basically like a tank statistics page. I want to show like all the stats, like how much money are you making, what fish are currently in your tank, that kind of stuff. And I might just make it a tab in here. Like, I'll probably just have like a section on top. It's just like a little info panel, right? And it just shows raw stats about the tank. And then a separator, and then right below that's going to be just a list of buttons of all the fish in your tank. So it's just going to be like these upgrade panels essentially, and it's just going to show the name of the fish, the quantity that you have in the tank, and a button to send them back, right? So it'll be really easy if you want to get rid of all your fish. You can just click the button for return a billion times, then all your fish will go away. You don't have to like go in here and select every single fish manually and return inventory that way. So I think it'll be fine. Let's put an epic fish in here. Let's put a rockfish is pretty epic. So far, sprite-wise, I think I like the sockeye salmon and the koi fish the most. But there's still many more fish to go. What's that little like white line next to his head? Oh, that's just like part of his like gills or whatever, yeah. Koi fish. I need to fix this issue where if I'm in the toolbar, it still like is selecting stuff on the cursor. Because what'll happen is like I'm on a tank and I go to my toolbar to open a menu and then it opens the tank because I'm selecting on the tank. So that's something to fix. I don't think it'll be too bad. Go away. What else? What else is there to do? I do notice every once in a while I get like a weird little lag spike, I think mainly when picking up customers. I don't know what that spike is. It's very minor. I mean, like, we're talking, you know, micro stutter, but it's noticeable. Because when your game runs at 1,000 FPS all the time, you kind of start to notice things like that. Right now, the game's not running as fast as it was when I was playing, and I think it's just because we're streaming. But I'm sure it's still... I don't think I did anything new that would be particularly slow. Yeah, it's still just the currency panel, which is just this panel, or whatever, this panel updating, so it's like nothing. Yeah, the game runs pretty blazingly fast. Also, like, when we go into this area, my FPS shoots up to, like, 500. As long as we're above, like, 100, I think we're okay. Yeah, you can drag customers now. You can just throw them around, and you can send them over into the Shadow Realm if you want. So it's pretty fun. Basically, if they just can't pathfind from their position that you drop them onto, they just poof and go away. But if you put them back in a place where they can actually walk, like here, then he's fine, you know? So... yeah, I mean, this mechanic doesn't really do anything right now, but I think it's just kind of fun. I did indeed kill that guy. Yeah, he's freaking gone. But it's okay. I should like full screen the game so you guys can like see easier. Can I put them in a tank? It would be funny if you could drop them into one of your tanks. And they drown. Although if I add drowning into the game, I might have to change the age rating. I don't know. I think right now we can get away with like G rating, right? I mean, there's really nothing in the game that's even somewhat inappropriate or whatever, so. But I'm not going to worry so much about age rating stuff. I don't really care. I mean, maybe if I add if I do a mobile version, I will, but we'll see. It would actually be kind of cool to have a mobile version of Lurden. I don't know like how complicated the process is from making a mobile game, honestly. But this game definitely seems like it would work well as a mobile game, right? So... put them in a tank, but it gives them a scuba tank? Yeah, there you go. then they're fine. They can breathe in the water. But yeah, perhaps I'll look at doing a mobile version. Maybe if the game does really well, I'd do a mobile version. It would be cool to like, I don't know, it'd probably be good because then like, but see, the thing is, if I do a mobile version, here's the thing. People are gonna want to be able to do kind of like what you do on like balloons and stuff, where you get to transfer your data from mobile to PC, right? That's what's gonna happen. But hey 2D Gamer, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. How's it going? What are we up to today on your stream? Welcome in. We're just doing some controller stuff from a game right now, Lured In. It's going good. We've just been working on like getting this tool set up so you can select things, and I think it's been working so far, so we should be good to go. There's only some like very minor controller things I have to fix, otherwise everything works pretty well now. Working on my project management tool, Kaizu. Okay. Migrating database from SQL Server to Postgres. Yeah. Swimmingly, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, if you got a link or anything that you want to drop, you're totally welcome to. Oh, what was that? It's like a little depth ordering thing here. I had to fix that. You guys can see all of my secrets. I actually have a rectangle here so you can't see them walk in. I didn't know he could stand there. Or I guess he can go there because he doesn't like... See, what is going on with that? That is weird. Ayo, let's go. Nice, got a link. Nice. Okay. The dashboard thing. What's this bar up here? Oh, it's just like... Okay. Adding collaborators. It's pretty epic. Initiatives. Yeah, something like this would be nice. For sure. Just having like one place, you know, to organize everything and manage. Because like, that is something that can be tricky sometimes. It's like, specifically with our game development process, like we've got like stuff all over the place. I mean, we mainly use like Miro as kind of that central area, but like it's there's a lot of different, like we've got files being sent on Discord and everywhere, so you definitely see how just one unified tool like that would be really convenient. Yeah, it's looking really cool. Anyways, we've been just, we got ads in a moment. Unfortunately, I can't snooze them. But we've been working on controller stuff mainly today. We did throw in a couple more fish. Well, I drew them last night, but we got the rainbow trout and the stonefish, so they're going good. But yeah, it's coming along. I've been just working on this for a few months. Just getting things ready for a public playtest and a demo pretty soon, actually. Probably in the next 1 or 2 months. So, now what is going on with his pathfinding, bro? I don't know. See, he gets like stuck on his track, and then as soon as he reaches the point he was trying to go to, he's fine. But yeah, it's just really weird though. Because whenever I pick him up, I have like a function call that tells him to stop what he's doing, right? If we look inside of the code of the customer, you can see we've got like, this is the path his move tween right here. But when an NPC creates a location they want to move to, they say like select target here, right? And then make sure that there's no... If it is colliding, they like wait a frame and try again. But then right here, we create this tween. Is it because I'm not killing it here? Like maybe that's what's happening. I have to say if move tween tween.kill. Because I have to make sure there's only ever one of these like movement tweens happening at any given moment. So if there is a case where somehow one has been created, maybe that's what's happening. Because then it would just like, you'd have multiple tweens still running in the background with no way of referencing them if you create multiple like that. So maybe that's all we had to do. We'll see. Just make sure that it's not already valid, you know? Yeah, I'm not seeing that issue happen anymore, so maybe it was okay. We'll see though. I'm happy with how fast the game has been running. It's pretty wild. Like compared to something like Starground, it's insane. I think it's just because it's a very contained, small environment. I mean, we do have some things that are laggier, like the tanks, but luckily, like, this stuff doesn't really run unless I'm in the tank, so it's pretty performant. Technically, there is some stuff, like the decorations and fish in here are real, but they don't really, like, do much. I mean, they just move around slightly. If I notice eventually decorations causing a big performance impact, I think I might have to like set a cap. We talked about doing this before, but like limiting the number of decorations that can be placed down. We'll see if I actually end up doing that. So yeah, thank you for the follow. Yeah, not running things are the most performant things, true. Yeah, really optimization is just about doing things less. So yeah, there's definitely a profiler. It's useful. It's actually running right now. But yeah, it just gives you a good overview of all the different scripts and stuff you have running. So we're at less than a millisecond for all of our scripts in the game, which is like fine. Audio thread and server is 0. Okay, sometimes it peaks a tiny bit, but that's just because it's doing, I think it's saving the game. I mean, that's not that big of a peak. It looks like it's an enormous peak, but you have to remember this is like 500 FPS down here or whatever, so it's really not actually real. Do you like the shader? But I feel like it's a bit fast. I do know what you mean. Like, I think the pixels like update too often. I totally get that. I don't know how I would adjust that. I'd have to just like slow down. Actually, I talked about manually choosing the refresh rate on the viewports on these tanks before. So maybe that's the solution. Just like limit the render FPS on these viewports, maybe? I don't know. It's like you need more scripts, yeah. And we talked about the way to do that. I think if you swap between the render modes, it forces like a render event to happen. So maybe that could potentially work. Because yeah, I think like the issue is that the game runs at hundreds of FPS. So this shader is like interpolating super fast. So you get like weird flickering and stuff because it's updating 300 times every second. So yeah, I think just setting an FPS limit on that, because we can kind of preview what it would look like a little bit actually if I just enable the FPS limiter. So this is sort of what it would be like, which I think is better. Like it's still a little bit noisy, but things don't like move quite as rapidly. I do need to figure out like how to make the grass a little more stable. It's tricky because I don't want individual pixels because it looks really noisy. But then sometimes using our shader, I think it gets rid of lines that would connect these things together with each other, because you can see what it looks like with it like this. Like definitely this is way more noisy and worse, I would say, but I wish I could figure out a way to like, I don't know, keep these lines, but just like maybe enlarging them instead or something. I'm not really sure yet. I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, it's just all this seagrass can be really noisy sometimes, you know? And like in here, this is why we did the shader, because like, what is this on the right? Like, if you go in, you can tell, but otherwise, without the shader on, I think it's really difficult to tell. And then when we turn the shader back on, boom. It's still a little bit tricky, but it just, like, makes the shape easier to read, you know? So I do like the shader, but I think I just want to figure out a different way to kind of do it, I guess. I don't know how. Yeah, no idea. Because how else could we do it? We're just doing it per pixel right now. I could like, one option that I think I just mentioned is like expanding the isolated pixels. So if you have like one pixel, instead of taking on the color of its neighbors, it just sets all of its neighbors to the color of itself, right? And it would kind of essentially achieve the same effect. But also the thing I worry about with stuff like this is like, it's going to be worse for noise though, right? That's the only kind of issue here. Because it's going to take one of these little random colors we don't want to be visible and then make it large, which I think is going to kind of cause more issues than it solves, maybe. It just really depends. I think I'm just going to have to implement both. I mean, we have the first one done. I might just try doing the one where it expands the pixel and just see what it looks like and figure out, like, you know, what works best. But I probably will also add in the like manual refresh rate on these so I can choose like, you know, update 5 times per second or something, because I think that would also help a lot. Just kind of like slowing everything down in here so it's not like shifting around 300 times, because I think that's part of what makes it look really noisy, like with this stuff, or like especially this one. These things are moving so fast. You can see like some of these pixels in here are just like flickering in and out, and it looks really like bad, shimmery. So we'll work on all that. Yeah, there's like a million ways that you could do like downscaling like this. I mean, obviously we could do like a bilinear filter on this, you know, but I think it would look really blurry and terrible if we did that. I kind of don't want to do that. I mean, we do have options of like, I don't think anti-aliasing does anything here. What is this variable rate shading? Interesting. Oh, that's for XR, right? But we could change like the filtering mode to linear and see, you see what that does? Like, look at that now. But here's the issue. Like, yeah, it smooths out all the movements and that's great and all. But now we get a lot of, it's not consistent with our color palette. So I just don't know which route we want to go. There's so many different like possibilities, you know? I mean, I do kind of like how it looks a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It's very smooth. And maybe I could create a new version of my shader, like something that takes these smooth pixels now and snaps them to a color palette. Right? Because maybe we can get the best of both worlds, where we get like the smooth movement, but then also we can snap it, and then after snapping to the color palette, we run our denoising shader on top of that as well. So we could do that. It's a lot of work for a minor thing, but I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this more, like the smooth linear, or do you prefer nearest with our color denoiser on? So this is what it looks like with nearest. It's definitely got a more pixel art vibe, but like, and then this is with linear. And then turn our shader off like that. It's smoother and more calm because it can do like half values between all these pixels, right? What do you guys think? Because I'm just genuinely curious. I mean, I think both have aspects I like and dislike, right? It's difficult. I just don't know. I'll have to think about it. Yeah, I'll probably mess with shader stuff more. Anyways, I think I'm going to end stream now. Just because I have a birthday party to attend to. But yeah, thank you gamers for coming into the stream. I appreciate it. Go find somebody to raid. New Jank is live. I want to see what New Jank's been up to. It's been a while, so let's go raid New Jank. Yeah, thank you gamers for coming in. We'll be live again tomorrow around 3:30 MST. I'm going to try and do alert in update shortly because now, like, I've got the controller stuff done. I actually have things that I would like you guys to test for real, right? So it's time. And yeah. If things are going good, full controller support, that's going to be great for Steam Deck. Hopefully we can actually get, like, not just the playable tag, but like the full verified tag would be really nice. So we'll look into that, but I'm gonna go start this raid on New Jank. Got my controllers at the ready. Epic. Sounds good, yeah. Feel free to join the Discord, grab Stargrad on Steam, or wishlist lured in now if you want. But yeah, we'll see you gamers tomorrow. Thank you for coming in. And thank you for all the raids, everybody. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.